Hi YouTube, in this video I'm going to be comparing the new CeraVe PM to the older CeraVe PM formulation and talking about what my guess is from the changes in formulation just from looking at the ingredient list on the back of the products. I did email CeraVe, but they didn't get back to me, and I'm pretty sure they're going to just say that it's proprietary in terms of what they've done differently. I have messaged them before and they kind of just gave me those kind of answers. That's why I'm not able to say this with certainty. I don't work with CeraVe in any way, so these are just educated guesses. So these are the two CeraVe PM bottles right here. One of them is the old one, the other one is the new one. In terms of the looks and the products, they are exactly the same. So this one here is the new formulation and this one here is the older formulation. And you won't be able to tell a difference between the two from the way the products come out or the product this is what the older formulation looks like, and this one is the new one. Oops. So yeah, they look the same, and they feel the same too. Like, I know I mixed this one here and the other one on here, but I kind of mixed them two together. Okay, so let's put it onto my face. So this one is the older formulation. They feel more or less, I mean, I cannot detect any difference in formulation in terms of application in a consumer perspective. Like, using it, I'm not able to tell a difference. And this is the other one. I'm just gonna squirt just a little bit. Just about that much. And okay, I honestly cannot detect any change in formulation just by using these products, and that's why I think most people have not even noticed that the formulation has changed. However, when you look at the ingredient list on the label, there are some changes. The first change I want to point out, which I think is the main change, is the newer formulation does not contain methylparaben and propylparaben. So both the formulation, both the packages have ingredient list on the back, and the older formulation has methylparaben and propylparaben. The newer formulation just has phenoxyethanol as its primary preservative. Parabens are not necessarily bad. They're hypothesized to have caused breast cancer, but there isn't a strong evidence supporting that claim. So I'm not sure why they decided to remove parabens from this formulation. I guess if people are refraining from using CeraVe because it has parabens in it, I can see that being the reason why they removed it, so people aren't hesitating over making this purchase. But parabens are very safe as a preservative, you know, even as adverse effect reactions go. Parabens among the preservatives have been the least likely ones to cause an irritation, but there are people who can be irritated by parabens. So, you know, I cannot say that the newer formulation is going to be as shelf stable as the older formulation. So if you are someone who habitually buys like 2 or 3 sets of products at the same time, because you don't want to make multiple trips to the grocery store, or your Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart frequently runs out of CeraVe, I can see why you would want to buy them in bulk, but the newer formulation might not be as shelf stable. That's just my prediction. That's not to say that their formulation is not stable as the old one or not safe, because they would not be selling it if it wasn't safe. But I do think that methylparaben and propylparabens are really good preservatives, and they have a very strong antimicrobial action, and I would prefer formulation with parabens because I think that they're very good at keeping things stable and not letting a microbial infection grow. So that is the main difference. The second difference is that the newer formulation uses sodium hyaluronate as opposed to hyaluronic acid. Sodium hyaluronate and hyaluronic acid are not the same thing, even though a lot of people use it interchangeably. In terms of how it reacts with your skin and how it kind of sits with the skin, it's very similar, but they're not the same. Sodium hyaluronate is a salt form of hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is easier to, I think, formulate than sodium hyaluronate would be, but sodium hyaluronate actually helps a little bit with the penetration, but you know, I don't think it makes a marked difference. Like, you're not going to see any difference in hydration from the older versus the newer formulation. The other difference is that so in the order of how the ingredients appear, just from inspection of reading the ingredient list label, dimethicone appears earlier in the ingredient list in the older formulation, and in the newer formulation dimethicone appears after the 3 ceramides. As I mentioned, I don't notice any difference in how it applies to my skin or how it pairs with other skincare products. I don't find one to be heavier or greasier than the other in any way. I think people have a fear against dimethicone and silicone-based products because they think that they clog pores and that they are likely to cause pimples and acne, I guess, but I don't think it's used at a formulation I don't think that is what's causing breakouts. I don't think dimethicone causes breakouts, and I don't think this formulation with dimethicone causes breakouts, but I do believe people when they say they break out from using a product. So I'm not sure if it's dimethicone because it's very inert and it's a very safe ingredient. So I'm not sure why they decided to do that, but you know, those are just some objective changes that I've noticed in the newer and the older formulation. I have been using more of the newer one just because I want to finish this first and then use this. I still love it. It's a very big staple in my skincare routine. It helps with dry skin and a little bit of acne pigmentation, discoloration and such. The niacinamide, I'm particularly attracted to the ceramide blend in the CeraVe PM formulations. I think they really help with dry, irritated skin that's prone to eczema like mine is. I think it helps a lot, and it's fragrance free, does not have any plant oils, plant extracts. So I'm really pleased with the new formulation, and the old formulation I never really had any complaints. And I hope that you're not scared of parabens or dimethicone or I mean, I don't think most people are scared with hyaluronic acid, but yeah, don't be scared of hyaluronic acid either. You have to use it in the right way. When I was going to school for chemistry, we learned that any chemical can be safe if you know how to work with it, how to use it. Of course, that is different when it comes to skin, because our skin is independent of how our mind works. So even if you know how to work with something safely, you can be irritated and, you know, bothered by it. So Yeah, it's really hard to say what can cause irritation or breakouts in a formulation, if it's a specific formulation or a specific ingredient that's causing the issues, so it's hard for me to predict. But I've always had a positive experience with both the newer and the older formulation, and I hope that you can stick to it and see positive results like I did. And that's all for me today. I hope you're doing well, and Happy New Year. Bye.